Get ready, everyone. All-Star action is coming your way. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. This place is going to go crazy. Tonight, the exciting three-point contest. What a fun time this is going to be. It's fast-paced and action-packed, folks.
And as with all the All-Star festivities, the three-point contest is about having fun, a good time. But still, that doesn't mean the competitive juices won't be flowing.
Now, no question, Clark, these guys are in it to win it. There's a lot of pride on the line when you're up against your peers like this, but I do feel that the guys who perform the best are the ones who relax and just enjoy the experience.
And here we go with the beast. He'll have 60 seconds to try and make his way through 5 racks, each one containing 4 regular balls, and then the 2-point money ball.
A maximum score is 30 points, Kevin, but you've got to get into a really good rhythm right off the bat.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's usually pretty easy to tell right away whether a player has it going or not.
Well, like they say, Steve, and it's true, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. So it's essential that a player keeps a fast pace and gets to all 25 balls before the buzzer.
Yeah, and it's really a balance, Clark, because you can't race through them either. If you do, you're going to fall out of your rhythm. So it's a fine line between being focused and being quick. You've got to find that balance.
2 racks remaining. 10 points on the board. Down to the final rack. Now with 11. He's got 12. That's 13. And that's his 4th straight. Ran out of time there. He posts a score of 14. He turned in a pretty good round right there, don't you think?
I thought he had his stroke working pretty well for him. I mean, what do you think about that, Steve?
Yeah, solid shooting. He looked very confident. You know, it never became one of those lights-out rounds that it could have been. But all in all, I think he's got to be pretty happy.
So it's Klay Thompson ready to start here.
But Klay's dad was an NBA player, Michael Thompson, but more a post player and a center. Klay as a guard, a perimeter player who's got a beautiful shooting touch.
5 big points on that rack alone. Up to 10 now. 11 on the board.
And the young fella, Klay, making it look very easy out here.
He's at 14. And with that shot, he moves into sole possession of first place. He's on top.
Good momentum here to close it out.
17 on the board. The round ends, and he's got 19. Guys, hard to find any fault with that display.
Well, the key was he was consistent, Kevin. He didn't really get too hot, but he never got cold, and that's important. You've just got to continue to shoot through the ups and downs.
And so we'll see Wesley Matthews.
You know, Wes Matthews, Kevin, out of Marquette, had a really solid career there, but was undrafted. A player who's really solidified himself as a quality NBA talent. I mean, a tough defender. He's a pretty good shooter. He can handle it. I mean, there's not anything he doesn't do reasonably well.
You remember his dad, Wes Matthews?
Yeah, I do. I remember, those Wisconsin teams cost me a Big Ten championship. Cost us a Big Ten title back in 1980, and Wes Matthews was the culprit. He was the catalyst for knocking us off twice in those years.
I am sorry I brought that
Yeah,
up.
you knew what you were doing.
No, I did not.
You knew what you were doing.
Steve, help me out here. 11 points. He comes away with 4 points on that rack. Make that 14. 14 points is his total as the round comes to a close. I'd say he handled that round pretty well, guys.
I think things are so much easier when a shooter gets off to a good start, and he certainly did that.
And here we go with Paul George.
And guys, one of the cardinal sins of the three-point contest is a player trying to change his stroke after a bad rack or two. It won't work.
Well, it's tempting to do so, Clark, but trying to make adjustments during a 60-second span sometimes is tough. People tend to overthink things. This is really more about finding your stroke early and then not thinking about anything.
He got 3 points off that rack. Not bad. He misses his 4th straight. He's got 5. 7 points more to stay alive. Now 8 points.
That stroke is looking honey sweet. 4 more points to stay alive.
Gets the money ball.
2 more to stay in it.
In the end, it's a 12-point round for him. That's far below what he's capable of doing when he's on his game.
Well, he missed 3 of the 5 money balls, so he didn't do himself any favors in that department. Those are 6 big points that he left on the table.
And he needs at least 14 here to remain in contention.
The door's open. A good round would do it. That's 2. He comes away with 4 points on that round. 5 points now.
Seven more points to stay in contention. Six more points to stick around.
He's got 9. Can't get the money ball. 4 more points to stay alive. Now with 11. 12 for him.
He's just got to hit 2 balls from the final rack, and it's mission accomplished.
That's 13. Right for second.
Now he's in second place all by himself.
He finishes the round with 17 points. I'd say he handled that round pretty well, guys.
Kevin, I think he'd be real pleased with that score. I mean, it can always be a little bit higher, but that was plenty good.
Yeah, I agree, Clark. He's probably happy with it, not ecstatic, but, he did his job and put up a pretty good number.
And so here's Curry now. It can be a big advantage going last. He knows the score he needs to beat in order to qualify.
You know, in the three-point contest, these guys are really on an island out there. I mean, you're used to sharing the court with 9 other guys. 4 of them are your teammates, and now it's just you out there. It has a little bit of a golf, tennis, or track and field feel.
Yeah, that's right. Individual sport atmosphere. And some guys love that, some don't. But, if you don't love it, you probably shouldn't be here. I think everybody in the lineup tonight really will enjoy it. And, of course, it's just a matter of who can get hot.
7 more points, and he's in. 1 last rack remains.
4 more, and he moves on.
Now with 11. He's got 12. In the end, it's a 12-point round for him. Well, I didn't expect that score to be as low as it was. What about you guys?
Well, we kept waiting for that point where he'd get hot and rattle off a few in a row, but it just never came.
Thompson's got the best score in the qualifying round, guys. I'll bet he's excited for the finals.
Quite honestly, I think the final round is wide open. I mean, we've got a bunch of great shooters moving on.
Yeah, we sure do, and I can't pick a favorite here, Clark. I think everybody's in the mix right now.
And here we go with the beast. He's got 24 seconds here to put up as many points as he can. That's 2. He could have taken more from that rack, only got 2 points. 3 down. Drains the money ball. And so we'll see Wesley Matthews. And Wes Matthews often in the top 10 in three-point shooting, Steve.
Yeah, he shoots a very good percentage for his career, and it's not something that was expected when he came out of Marquette. Clark talked about it a little bit. He's just a guy who was really self-made, particularly his jump shot. It's become a big weapon for him. Well, that score can't have him too worried. I'm guessing he'll top that without much problem.
Now with 4. He's got 5. He's up to 7. And so we'll see Wesley Matthews. He's got to improve on his score from the last round if he wants to have a shot to win it.
It's all about establishing a rhythm early on and then keeping it going throughout the round. Am I right, Steve?
Oh, yeah, for sure. If you get off to a slow start in this competition, Clark, you're in big trouble because the clock starts to tick. You start to panic a little bit. You start to rush. You really need to find that groove early, and then you can gain your confidence and let it roll. Pretty good start there for him.
8 points. He's got 9.
He's got his rhythm now. Wes Matthews locked in.
That's 4 misses in a row. Now with 11. Only net to sink one there. That gives him 12. Points is his total as the round comes to a close. That was a nice piece of shooting we saw from him out there.
Well, the key was, Kevin, he took 6 out of a possible 10 points from the money balls. And those are huge points. You've got to take advantage of them, and he did.
You know, it means so much to get off to a fast start in this competition. More often than not, as the first few racks go, so go the rest.
Yeah, it's a weird competition, Clark, because guys are not used to doing this during the season, taking so many shots in such little time. So the quick start is imperative for your confidence and for your rhythm.
That's 5 in a row. He better get it together. Now 3 points.
That's 3 racks in a row now that have given him fits.
He's got to keep it steady here. He can't miss more than 2 shots the rest of the way.
Now with 6. 1 rack left.
Finishing strong.
Too much ground to make up here, Clark. He's done.
And that's just the way it goes sometimes. Out of here.
Yeah, you do your best, but, you know, this competition is so tough. If you're not on your game, you're not going to win.
9 points is what he finishes with. Well, I didn't expect that score to be as low as it was. What about you guys?
I guess one way to look at it is that he was just in his discomfort zone in that round.
You know, Clark, no need to even put it into words. We could all see how unsettled he was. That did not go well from the start.
So it's Klay Thompson ready to start here. He was the hottest shooter entering the finals, so he earned the right to go last, and he knows exactly what the target is. He can seal the deal with 15 points or more.
8 more points and he'll tie things up.
That's 7. Money ball, no good. Now 8 points.
6 more points for the win.
Up to 10 now. Gets the money ball. 2 away from the win. Make that 14. He finds himself at 16 points at the end of the round. That was a nice piece of shooting we saw from him out there.
There were a few ups and downs, but overall it turned out to be a fairly decent round.
Yeah, I'd give him kind of a B+ for that one. You know, you hope for more, but it probably lived up to a reasonable expectation.
And that brings the three-point contest to a close. Coming out on top of the kind of field we had here tonight says so much about our champion this year.
Now, how much fun was that? That could be the highlight of this year's All-Star festivities, guys.
Well, for me, Clark, this three-point contest usually is. I was just happy to have a ringside seat for it.
And from all of us here at 2K Sports, we're thrilled to have brought you this year's three-point contest. This is Kevin Harlan, along with Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg, saying so long and thanks for watching.